Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of CGarnerSpeed252. Definitely push that subscribe button so you can be a part of the CGarnerSpeed252 family. If you have an Instagram account, please feel free to follow me there as you see in front of me right now for all the updates and future things on the channel. If you have Facebook, feel free to follow me on Facebook at CGarnerSpeed252. Without further ado, let's hop into the video. I got some interesting things to talk about regarding the C8 mid-engine Corvette. Thank you again to everyone that pushed that play button for this video and has subscribed to the channel. Whoa, so we found out some interesting things this week, these past couple of weeks about the C8 mid-engine Corvette. Also regarding the top tier mid-engine Corvette and pretty much the base model Corvette. I don't have a photo of the top tier mid-engine Corvette, so I'm going to use this rendering for now, which is an awesome looking rendering by the way. We have heard recently that the top end of the Corvette, of the C8 mid-engine Corvette, which could be called Zora, is supposedly pushing anywhere between 900 to 1,000 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower. We all love to hear that, but the bad news is, or the sad news is that there may be too much horsepower for the car or that frame to handle. Supposedly, that amount of horsepower is bending or warping the frame in some type of way or form and also cracking the windshield of the car. Supposedly, GM needed to speak to some lawyers or get some lawyers' insight of maybe this could be too much horsepower for a daily driver. To be fair, my Corvette Grand Sport has 465 horsepower. That's plenty of horsepower for me, plenty of horsepower for a daily driver, but we all want more of something at some point. Am I right or wrong? And so for the most part, does this car have too much horsepower to 900 to 1,000? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, we all make choices and people choose to decide to buy a 900 or 1,000 horsepower car. That's on them. It's up to them to go to, get training lessons or figure out how to be able to drive this car the way it should be driven. But at the end of the day, no one needs a 1,000 horsepower car unless you're really going to the drag strip a lot. But as far as taking it to the track, I doubt you better put down 1,000 horsepower on the track. So I have two questions for you. What should GM do in order to fix this issue with the 900 to 1,000 horsepower car that is supposedly warping the frame and also cracking the front windshield? My second question is, would you literally consider buying a 900 to 1,000 horsepower car? Now here's something else I want to talk about. The C8 base model mid-engine Corvette. Now these photos you can get from online, you can get from anywhere, you can get from the mid-engine Corvette forum. But at the end of the day, let's talk about this car. So we have all seen pictures and videos of the C8 mid-engine Corvette, the base model at least, going from state to state, pretty much, them testing it out and them trying to figure out if there's anything wrong with it. Seems like they're trying to get pretty close to, I guess, revealing this car. You can see within this photo right now that the guy or female that's in front of the hood is checking something out, and you can see that there's a guy in the car because you can see the face blurred. So what I'm thinking is you have a professional driver driving this car, and you have someone from GM or a technician or something standing out in front of the car. So that way, if something goes wrong, that person can get out and take a look at it and make sure everything is going well. As we all continue to speculate and make our guesses on what's going on in this car, we was hoping that it would be revealed at a Detroit Auto Show. But it seems as if Chevrolet still has some issues they need to work out with, obviously, the base model and the top tier C8 mid-engine Corvette before this car could possibly be revealed. Because you don't want to reveal something and make it in production and have all these recalls and all this stuff along the way. So at the end of the day, we all have to wait patiently to make sure GM work out these kinks. So this is their first time going to a rear engine car or a mid-engine car, whatever you want to call it. And I'm glad that they're actually switching to this because that's how they will be able to keep up with some of the other cars. I know some people don't like the fact that they're out switching to a mid-engine platform and they like the front engine platform better. They feel like the front engine platform was able to compete with other cars like the Porsches and the Lamborghinis and things like that. But I guess GM decided that they feel like it was in their best interest and maybe in their customer's best interest to go to a mid-engine platform car to be able to compete better with the other mid-engine cars like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, and such and such and such. And once again, thank you all who took the time to subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it and look forward to meeting you someday in person somewhere. So here's a photo that I'm excited to talk about for a number of reasons. We clearly once again see the same person in front of the car trying to figure out what's wrong with it. Me personally, I'm going to give you my personal opinion of what's going on with this car or possibly the things that I can point out based off this photo. To me, this photo means a lot. It says a lot. And I want you all's opinion of what you think is going on with this car. Leave your comments down below and you tell me what you think is a problem with this car as we see in front of us right now. So I want to point out one thing that I read on a mid-engine Corvette forum, which I think is not true. Somebody said, why is this person in front of the car, if this is supposedly a mid-engine car, why are they standing in front of the car? Is the engine in front of the car? I truly believe the engine is not in the front of this car. I do believe this is a rear engine car or a mid-engine car, once again, whatever you want to call it. We have all seen photos of GM covering up the back window. There has not been one photo that I have seen yet or came across, regardless of what platform you look on, that the rear window of this car has been uncovered. Which tells me, and I think, tell most people that this car is a rear engine car and they do not want us to know what type of engine in this car, whether it's a twin turbo V6, a LT1 V8, or a twin turbo V8. Take a quick look at what the arrow is pointing at. A lot of people thought that it could be brake fluid, it could be washer fluid. The reason why they think this is a front engine car. I still believe, once again, this is a mid-engine car, and that possibly could be brake fluid or washer fluid. But at the end of the day, that does not determine or tell us that this is a front engine car. So I know a lot of you have said this car can be compared to an Acura NSX or look like an Acura NSX. For all of you who have been part of the channel for a while, and for a lot of you who has not watched that video yet, I had the opportunity to drive a 2018 Acura NSX. I saw the hood and I saw the rear hatch of this car. And let me tell you something. The car drove exceptionally well. I just wasn't able to fit inside the car. But based off what I see in front of me right now, let me point out some things. So if you take a look at the person that's standing in front of the car, so if you take a look to where the arrow is pointing, that looks to me as if that's a basket of some sorts or the trunk of the car. Well, I guess the trunk, the front, whatever you want to call it. I have seen that in numerous, mid-engine cars or rear-engine cars, and that truly does look like something that, if I recall, seeing inside the Acura's NSX. So that also tells me that it's still possibly and is a mid-engine sports car. So a lot of you may ask, then why is this guy working on something on the front end of the car as if the engine is there, actually? Well, let me tell you something that I saw in the Acura's NSX. The Acura's NSX had two motors on both wheels in the front, and it actually had the hybrid system that controls those two wheels in the front as well. So it's possible this person could be working on the hybrid system that controls both front engine on the front of the mid-engine Corvette. Now, I'm not saying the mid-engine Corvette is going to be a hybrid or it will have the two electric motors on the front wheel. I know some people say that GM was saving that for their top-end Corvette, which could be their 900 or 1,000 horsepower car. One other thing that I can point out that possibly could be wrong with this car is that it could have all the electrical components in the front of this car, which could be something that he's currently working on in front of us. We have heard or read articles that stated that the C8 mid-engine Corvette has had some electrical problems before, but I also heard that when they call it electrical problems, there's actually something else going on with the car than electrical problems or electrical issues, what do you want to call that? So clearly, based off this photo that we have in front of us, it seems as if the guy or the girl was not able to actually fix this car after all. I don't know, or nobody else has stated how long they was driving this car, where they was driving it from, or where they are located, but it seems as if this car is actually broken down. So it seems like there's definitely something major going on with the C8 mid-engine Corvette. For one, for them not to reveal it, and two, for them actually not to have driven this car any longer to where they needed to go to. I will admit, this is the second time that I have now seen a photo of someone working on the C8 mid-engine Corvette outside at a gas station in the front of the car. So which means that to me, it could be possibly some electrical issues they're having going on, or could be the hybrid system on the two front motors that could be possibly causing issues with this car as well. That's just my opinion. Once again, we're all speculating about this car until GM actually announced when this car was revealed, what's actually going on. They haven't even announced anything that this car was actually in the making. So give me your thoughts on what you think is going on with this car. So there you have it. We actually see the C8 mid-engine Corvette being towed away with the GMC truck. So once again, I don't know if there's actually a tow company outside of Chevrolet, but we can clearly see this car has been broken down to it is not able to be repaired. If you look at the front of this car, the C8 mid-engine Corvette, right at the bottom, it seems as if there's some wires hanging from it. I don't know if there's actually something pertaining to the car, but whatever the case may be, this car has broken down. It has to be towed away. A lot of people have said that not to buy the first version of this car because it will come with a lot of problems. It seems as if that may be the case, or it seems as if GM may be able to fix these things before the car is revealed because they haven't announced when this car may be coming. It's possible this car may not be revealed until 2020 at this point due to all the issues that they're having. Once again, that's just my opinion and speculation that's going around. But I want to thank you for pushing that play button once again. I want to thank everyone that subscribed to the channel. Feel free to follow me on Instagram or Facebook by going to CGarnerSpeed252. You type those things in, but should pull up my Facebook and my Instagram handle. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you all on Monday. And stay tuned because CGarnerSpeed252 got some good things coming your way.